Good morning, everyone. Are you okay? It looks like you're okay, and if not, we will take care of that as well, I'm sure. Great to see you here, honored guests, honored partners, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EE Solutions Summit. I think these halls of knowledge are quite unique. You will have a number of companies presenting today in a very, very concrete and relevant manner, showing examples of what can be done, how solutions are made in very practical terms as well. And the knowledge that you represent in this room is quite amazing, and amazing in the sense that it's the world is gathering here in Sønderborg to look at what we can actually do to further develop our energy efficiency solutions. So I'm really happy to see that so many of you have found their way here. Yesterday it was announced that Sønderborg and Denmark is the EE capital of the world. That is absolutely big words. A lot of things are happening in the world, but certainly we are extremely committed to be a very, very important part of the solution. When the IAEA conference was announced almost a year ago, we started planning, as you would understand, this summit. Most of the world was in the shadow of Corona. In Europe, at least, this gave us a way to focus on like a green restart of the economy, which has taking place. And now the world is certainly changing again, and especially here in Europe. The political tectonic plates of the Western world are absolutely shifting. We are all aware of that, and almost not least when it comes to energy policy. And the world is, in that sense, also amid a climate crisis, and the Western world is also facing a potential energy supply crisis. This is, of course, for all of us, extremely serious. While this is a bleak backdrop, it also presents us with an opportunity to really act. And the answer to both challenges is and must be an accelerated focus on a green transition and an intelligent and efficient energy use, which we are not seeing in the world today to a large enough extent. Energy is vital to the world, we all know that. A connected world, a prosperous world with a robust market and competitive economy. And green energy is a valuable resource and becoming more and more valuable. In a green future, energy consumption, as we all know it, should be viewed in the holistic perspective, in our opinion, across sectors, and must be prioritized where there is added most value. With its 7th annual global conference on energy efficiency that we are in the middle of now, taking place here, the IEA focuses on the cost of inaction, meaning what will it cost to meet the Paris Agreement climate targets without a proper investment in energy efficiency initiatives. In our country here in Denmark, we have a long tradition of energy efficiency for many reasons. Danish companies are among the most energy efficient in the world, but there are still significant potential to be realized further. A recent analysis finds that by harnessing the EE potentials, the cost of meeting Denmark's national climate target by 2030 will be noticeably lower, almost halved, meaning than an estimated total saving of $2 billion. But Denmark is a small country. We contribute only 0.1% of the global CO2 emissions as such. So even if we shut down all activity in Denmark, it will impact global climate change relatively microscopically. However, if we can inspire other countries to use better EE solutions that we are developing here, our potential impact is much, much larger, and that is certainly our ambition in partnerships with you. No single country holds the key to an energy efficient future, so the ultimate purpose of this summit obviously is to share experience on how best to access energy efficiency, no matter the region, sector or size of cost of efficient potentials. Our experience so far have certainly been, and still is, and I see it everywhere I look in all these examples here, and just crossing the water on the hybrid ferry here, or a vessel, it all lies in different types of partnerships. It can be private-to-private partnerships, it can be public-to-private partnerships, but the partnerships are, and the thinking out of the box types of partnerships are often the key to solutions. And we believe that really strong public-private partnerships are absolutely key to finding the ways going forward. Energy efficiency can be many things, and everything counts, both in terms of energy and capital saved. Today we will address some of the key sectors for an energy efficient future: transport, buildings, industry, and of course the overarching focus on sector integration, which is and bears an important part of the solution as well, coming back to partnerships and working across different sectors. In transport, for example, the emissions have grown faster than those of any other sector over the past 50 years, as the demand for transport will continue to grow massively. In the coming decades, there is a global need to curb emissions and use the right energy efficiency solutions. And we see examples of solutions here today, and we'll hear more about it in our sessions around in the different forums. In the industry and residential sectors, respectively, technical potentials for energy savings are as high as 24 to 32% within the EU alone, according to a study from the EU Commission. And as you know, are very well aware, huge investments are already being made there, but huge further investments and beneficial investments certainly lies ahead. As energy prices rises, as we all see, the economic potential is closing in on technical potentials, and energy efficiency is gaining rightful weight and momentum. And for some reason, it seems we still have a lot of work to do to make sure that all decision makers really realize how important and how fundamental energy efficiency is, and the opportunity it represents. And the good thing about that is it's much, much faster than many other projects. It can happen here and now if you're able to really introduce the right solutions quickly. So the cost of inaction should be considered as a wake-up call, in our opinion, and we ask that governments and the political decision makers, both here in this country and around the globe, take notice of that fact, that a green transition does not prioritize energy efficiency, is a green transition that is unnecessary expensive and therefore will be harder to achieve. So national strategies for energy efficiency should be ambitious and should be a key part in reaching the Paris Agreement climate targets. The best and most effective and probably only way to reach global climate goals and eventually climate neutrality is a decision makers, and when decision makers, businesses and civil society pulls together, as I mentioned before. And from my experience, public-private partnerships holds the key to unleash this great potential within energy efficiency. And we here in our country would like to be an example of how to do that. And we believe that our political decision makers, as well as the private sector and public sector, are eager to find partnerships also in new ways of creating results. Sharing the best practices within EE is important and has gained an increased focus of business organization, both here in Europe and also elsewhere. I just spent most of last week in a European setting where we were discussing how to best also in Europe further enhance the energy efficient agenda. In Denmark, we have organized 14 climate partnerships in different sectors. All main sectors of the economy contribute with sector-specific analysis and also proposals, very concrete proposals, and actions on reaching Denmark's overall climate target of 70% CO2 reductions by 2030, relative to 1990 figures. The initial analysis were conducted in 2020, involving very committed industry teams in all the sectors, all the 14 sectors, including manufacturing industry, buildings, transport, energy, etc. The recommendations are now in the implementation phase in a real specific and concrete manner with ambitious goals. It is a demanding task. It is super complicated technically, but also legislation-wise. But however, our monitoring so far shows real progress, and we believe it is possible to get there by 2030. Businesses are ready to deliver, and investors are ready to invest. In Confederation of Danish Industries, where we take a very active role and a very ambitious role in being part of this solution, Our philosophy is that the world we pass on to our children and grandchildren should be greener, richer, and better than it is today. That in itself is a huge task. To get there, it is important that we all, in our opinion, both public and private, are pulling in the same overall direction and putting all differences aside and focus on what we can actually create together. Therefore, I'm happy to see that so many representatives from the public and private sectors are here today. And ministers, thank you for also participating. We really appreciate that. And I would like to thank all our partners for joining us and for you to be here and exchange your experience and ideas and see what we can actually create together. Thanks for the companies that have made this possible and to the speakers of today and for taking time to share your knowledge with us. I look forward very much to an inspiring day with new input and meaningful discussions. And I think that the panel here, you will hear shortly, will give us a lot of insight, and we will be able to break out into separate sections afterwards and focus on your specific interests. I hope you'll get the most out of it so we can really move the dial on energy efficiency here, but also globally. We would like to partner up with you in that effort and look forward to the day with you. Thank you for listening and thank you for your time.